Alrighty, part 3 on what is that noise when I turn the steering wheel. This is John. Here we are in the city of Temecula, January 7th, 2023. It is 72 degrees out and that sun is just cooking. Real cold at night here. It was like a little under 40, but so here it is, the R129 1991 Mercedes-Benz 500 SL. So I've got both strut mounts installed. If you want to see how to do it, I posted a video a couple hours ago. It's pretty easy. It's about, I don't know, once you get set up with your tools, it's like maybe 20 minutes per side, taking your time. And so now I have everything tight. It still has a little noise though. Oh, let's sit down in here. Oh, it's so comfortable in here. You can still hear a little, not as bad, but you leave it in a certain so I don't know what's going on with that. Now, before I put the wheels back on it, I'm going to have my son go in there and turn the wheel while I crawl under there and listen to the components with a screwdriver to my ear. See if I can zero in on the loudest part. Okay. I'm pretty sure I found out why I'm getting that brake light warning. These are where the brake pad wear sensors. Oh, you look at this one. This one just pulled right out of its hole. It's supposed to look like that. So this is probably the why I'm getting that light. Okay, first, before the listen test with the screwdriver, I'm gonna just check these tie rods out. Feels smooth, both ends. Here's the drag link. I don't know if that's normal. I think it is. Anybody knows any different? I'll leave a comment. This thing is good because we disconnected it, the steering dampener. What is that noise coming from? Somebody said to check these braces here. That one's tight. It's tight. And up there, here's the other tie rod. It's tight. Well, that's good. All boots good. And there's a wonderful steering box. And there's the steering shaft. Now, when this problem first happened, and I backing out of a parking place, turning the steering wheel all the way to the right, backing out, just when I went to back out, it just went crack, like something let loose. You know, I'm thinking about it and stuff. What could it be? You know, if it's the steering box that's, I'm sure, has gears in it. I'm just wondering if a tooth broke off one of the gears, like that crack. But I think if there was a tooth missing, you would feel it constantly. You know, this kind of like the wheel turns, you hear noise, you turn it back, you don't hear it anymore. You know, it's not like in one spot, it's just a kind of a random. There's a shield right here. That's tight. I think this is idler arm, is it? No. Everything is really tight when I push on it. It's the only thing I get a noise, but it's kind of like ringing off make another metal ring. Now there's also this arm right here, and there's bushings in that. I think the exhaust would have to come off. What a pain. If I had to get to the bushings in that, there's a big long bolt, goes all the way up to the top, and you've got to get that bolt out of there. So exhaust would have to be disconnected right there. Right here. Kind of hard with the camera so close. And then all the way back to about this, maybe the center. No, or the entire thing might have to drop. What a pain. Ooh. I don't know if I would want to do that. I don't think my body would hold up to the abuse. So, and there's also this turns here, just on the bottom. There It could be something. Well, wheels are back on. Still have it. So, what are you gonna do? See? All right, so I came up with an idea on how I can better look at this situation. So we know the car does it when it's fully loaded on the ground. Everything is, you know, under the weight of the car, and it makes that clunk really, really strong. So tomorrow, I'm going to turn the car around and get the front wheels off the carpet over on the cement. Then I'm going to take this iPhone and stick it underneath it in different locations from one end to the other end and record it as I'm turning it and look at the component, because there's going to be a component that's going to be jerking. I'm sure there is. If not, if I don't see it jerking, then it's something in the steering column gearbox. Because my son said this afternoon when I had it out in the street, and he goes, "Oh wow, I can hear that clunk from here. It's loud." And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "And I noticed that the front wheels, when it clunks, they kind of go like, you know, they jerk." Okay, I'm just gonna put this up. There's other R129 owners, and they're having problems with their steering and trying to figure things out. And so what I do is I just scour the internet, look for as many diagrams and parts that are in the steering so I can get my head around it and how everything works. And then you can kind of figure things out. So like right here, this is 90 to 02. And there's your steering column. There's the tube. And then you've got this this shaft right here. I don't know if there's one or two. It's hard to look at this stuff, but for instance, here's more of a simple of the underneath, and you've got your drag link, your steering dampener. There's your gearbox. Gearbox has a little coupler up here where the shaft goes into it. And I didn't really realize it, but there's a power steering return end that screws in here, and there's probably like a feed line. So I guess this gearbox is fed power steering fluid from the pump. Didn't know that. I thought maybe it was just something that you'd fill, but they do leak, and underneath here there's some kind of a round thing with a bunch of Allens that you can buy a new gaskets and seal kit or whatever. Then you got your pitman arm right here. That's it, I think. Pitman arm, and then it's got Then it's got a, okay, so here's a pitman arm. And then it's got, I guess, bushings and stuff that you can replace in it. What else? Yeah, that's about it on that one there. There's another one, this W124, R129. So they do use the same type of systems. You know, your drag link here, your dampener, your tie rods, and there's that thing for the pitman arm. I don't know what this part right here is, if that's attached. I guess it, not sure. It's hard looking at this stuff. It's easier just looking at parts, you know. Same thing. But then what I do is I find kind of a picture of all the parts. Like here's the end of the steering shaft from your steering wheel down. And you can see that it's kind of a square right here, not completely square. It's round on the sides and straight right here. And I'm going, what the heck does that fit into? And what that fits into is this thing here, the steering coupler assembly. So one end here goes to the, it's got splines, goes to the top of the steering box. You got your steering column going down here, and I wanted to see what does that end look like? How does it all work? So I got this picture here, and you can see that it's, you know, it got this configuration here, so that's where that end right there goes into. I was curious, and there's a white plastic piece that when I was underneath there and I was looking at the steering column and I was going, is it made out of plastic? No, it's just got a kind of a, you know, I don't know why they put that there, but it's kind of hard to deal with. This is Eiler arm over there on the passenger side, at least for the U.S. market. And this is a repair kit to replace it. It's a kit, it comes just with bolts and everything, and it's kind of a nightmare to replace this thing. You have this big top bolt that's really hard to, I guess you can get to it, you know, but you can't pull it all the way out because the engine is up here, and you know, so some people they pull it out a little bit and then they cut it. And the instructions said some people cut it with a hacksaw. I don't know how you get a hacksaw up there to cut that thing. Nightmare. But it can be done, it can be bought, and you can do it. There's on that Pelican Parts site, there's instructions on how to do it. Some say, you know, some of the instructions say you can lift that one side of the engine up a little bit like that and get that bolt to clear. And then they also say you can cut the head off, and when you put it back together, you reverse this. It comes with a new bolt, so the old bolt is cut and trash, and you reverse it, you put the head this way like that and tighten it. And I've seen YouTube videos where they've mentioned that, so there's that. This is off eBay here, but this is what basically these, it seems to me these are the most common parts are gonna fail, right? Because they're constantly turning back and forth, back and forth. So that's probably just my problem is, you know, I might just end up replacing this part, the dampener, and the tie rod ends. I think that's like about at least 75% of the, problems, or 75% of the parts that are moving. These are the ones that seem to, everybody replaces, because they get noise. And it's hard to diagnose it, Then you got your steering pump, or your steering gearbox. It's off eBay. This is where the pitman arm goes on to, and you can see it's got splines on it. That's how that attaches to it. And there's where you can have access to that once you remove all this and replace this seal that's making it leak. Mine's leaking. I think they all leak after a while. I don't know. I was just worried that I didn't know that this is being fed by the power steering pump. And I was going, well, if it's leaking all of its gear oil out, I thought maybe it was gear oil in there, like, a differential has gear oil in it. It's not being fed by any pump or anything. So it's good to know that at least it's being lubricated all the time, even though if it's seeping or leaking, another angle of a crusty one. But so there's your pitman arm. There's that spline there. Got a bolt that tightens it on. There's that coupler. Steering column goes in there like that. It's tightened on right here like that. This is rubber right here. This is a wear item. It's that black hard rubber. So that could crack and cause weird issues, I'd imagine. Yeah, there's where you replace the seal inside, and probably a gasket. I think that's about it. I look at all the angles. I'm a curious person, so I got to record the screen here for some weird reason. This is just a real weird file type that I can't convert or anything. So what I did is I have 2 iPhones. Right, one's personal and one I just use for car repair videos, stuff like that. So I was trying to figure out, hey, how can I get one iPhone and put it under the car and record parts moving and look at it on my other phone. So I thought, hey, FaceTime. Okay, so they're iPhones, so they got FaceTime. So that's what I did. It doesn't record audio when you're doing it. For some reason, I don't know, wiretapping laws. It's really weird. And I did have the microphone on both of them, and still wouldn't. So I just stuck the phone under there, had a drop light, shining light up there and stuff. And I did, and inside the car, I just hit screen record on the FaceTime that I'm looking at. Now, it worked pretty good to get it, and so this is what I saw, and I'm pretty sure this is the problem. Look at this joint right here. Can you see it? It's moving in too far. So it means a ball joint on the other side is probably the one that's broken. And I was hearing the noise while I was recording. I could hear that noise, that clunking noise, just when this thing was doing that. So I think that's the deal. That's the thing that broke.